Hello and welcome back to the Dojo of Gain. Alright, now I'm streaming a little bit on Twitch. I just started, so this is also streaming on Twitch. If any messages come in, unfortunately I'm not going to see them because I'm using my phone as a camera and I only have one monitor down here, but pretty soon I will be moving upstairs and I have two monitors. There's just no air condition upstairs and it's summertime, so I would be drenched with sweat if I tried it, but since it's just starting, I didn't even know if my Twitch will get seen yet, so we're going to go ahead and take a look here. And we have Valuetainment, and it looks like he's talking to Joe Rogan, and it's about the sudden change in the amount of LGBTQ and what that entails. But I know that this is a topic that could get me in trouble on Twitch, so maybe they'll even take my Twitch down, but it doesn't matter, I'll make another one. It's new anyways. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video. And before we get started, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe.
Wonderful, peaceful conversation with this guy named Anthony Weiner. I don't know if you're familiar with the guy or not.
Yeah.
He's a very,
I saw
guy.
that podcast.
Yeah. So, and I asked him a question where I say, so let me ask you, how good are you at giving blowjobs? And he looks at me like, kind of a freaking question.
Probably already got pulled from Twitch.
That he says, I'm sorry, and I said, yeah, how good are you at giving it? He says, no. I said, when you were 11 years old, did anybody teach you how to give one? No. Why would they teach me that? That's what they're teaching in schools right now in many different places. Oh, they're not doing that. There's no way they're doing that.
There
right?
are books that do show that. Yeah.
Disgusting, completely inappropriate, and P behavior. You guys should know what P means. I gotta keep it vague, stay in the algorithm, but completely disgusting, inappropriate, terrible behavior. Corrupting children is the most diabolic, evil thing that somebody could possibly do on the face of the earth, in my opinion. Needs to be stopped. Parents need to do something about it. I mean, parents are 100% in charge of their kids. The government is not in charge. If the government wants to take charge, then parents need to make a change about that as well. There are more people than there are government at the end of the day. So, all the kids need to be pulled from the school, and the parents that agree with this, they are morons, they're idiots, and they're also evil by association. Yes, ignorance does not save you from being evil.
There are books, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if a person wants to sell that book at Barnes & Noble, go for it. If a person wants to sell that book on Amazon, go for it. But what do you think about parents that are protesting all over the place, where in some districts, these guys are saying, no, this is recommended reading by the teacher, and it's normal, it's okay, you should learn about this at an early age. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's very clear that there are certain teachers that have an agenda, and that their agenda is to indoctrinate children into this LBGT mindset, and that this is not just cherished, but celebrated. And, if you're talking to someone who is a gay kid, great. That's great. If you want to tell them that it's okay to be gay and, you should be your true self, great. That's terrific. What my concern with is that a lot of what we're seeing with, like, New Jersey had an uptick in kids identifying as non-binary by 4,000%. Like, It's not natural. These are not normal numbers. And I think children are very malleable. They're very impressionable. And if you reward them for
Okay, sorry to stop this real quick, but yeah, if the kid leans towards a sexuality, that is up to the kid, obviously. Every individual has the right to live the life that they want to live, but should they be exposed to explicit sexual content? No, because children do not have the mindset, and children are not wired to understand explicit sexual things. This is literally traumatizing towards children, and trauma causes brain damage. There's a lot of issues with trauma. Literally, your amygdala grows bigger than it should be in your brain, and it takes up space for your hippocampus, giving you less ability to learn in the future and to deal with stressful situations. So there's a lot of issues with causing trauma in children. Besides just protecting their innocent, children should remain innocent as long as they are supposed to remain innocent, right? If you're teaching them about sex ed when they're 12 or something like this, fine, that's when they should be beginning to learn about this. But if you're teaching them when they're in kindergarten, and not only about basic human function sex ed, but perverse sexual behavior, then that's completely inappropriate and completely wrong. And yes, it's basic function to reproduce. Everything else is perverse sexual behavior. Not to say that it's any problem with an adult engaging in it. Adults do whatever they want, but children do not need to be exposed to adult themes. Adult themes are for adults for a reason. It is what it is. And a huge percentage of children starting to identify as a category that is non-existent, basically a fantasy, a pretend category. You're teaching the kids to be delusional, and growing up as a delusional person is just going to create mental health issues. And thinking that playing pretend is real, what kind of mental health issues are they going to have in the future?
Certain kinds of behavior, if they are praised and cherished for certain types of behavior, I think they'll be encouraged to do that. And I think you're seeing with a lot of these detransitioners that a lot of these kids got encouraged early and got put on hormone blockers and hormones and got mastectomies and got castrated, and now they have deep regret. And people don't want to acknowledge that, and they attack those people. They attack those detransitioners. We have always thought that young children are not capable of making life-changing decisions at an early age. That's why we don't allow 7-year-olds to get tattooed. Right. And now all of a sudden you're allowing 7-year-olds to say that I'm a girl or I'm a boy, cut off my breasts and put me on testosterone.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
What percentage of parents do you actually think, obviously we don't know the exact number, but what percentage of parents, left, right, middle, think that's okay? What do you think that percentage is?
That's interesting. I would not know. I would just be wildly guessing.
What do you
but there's a certain amount of people that are in the progressive mindset that is essentially a cult. There's cult-like thinking on both the right and on the left.
Absolutely.
It's cult thinking. It's conglomerations of opinions that you adopt and you defend because that keeps you in the tribe. And the LBGT, whatever the other numbers are in letters, what that is it's a flag that you're flying to show that you're on the right team, that you're progressive, you're open-minded, you're on the right side of history, you're inclusive. This is what they're doing. And that has an effect on people psychologically. I think you should allow people to be who they are. And you should be open to people being who they are no matter what it is. But to encourage them to go in a specific direction, I think there's real repercussions for that. And I think you're seeing that with these detransitioners.
You think it's 1%, 5%, 10%, 15%? You think it's 20 plus? Like if you were to guess.
I don't think it's 20 plus.
I don't think so either.
I think it's a vocal minority. The same thing with people that think that trans athletes should be able to compete with women and biological women in women's sports. It's a very small, very loud minority.
Do you think that's kind of like, let's just say I'm your friend, okay? And we're out at a restaurant, and you know how there's the guys that all of a sudden somebody's going to say, Joe, you're picking up a topic, we're having dinner, we're having a conversation. Hey, what do you think about voting this way? And one of your friends, this guy feels like I have to agree with 100% of what Joe says because it's Joe. Joe's my boy. Joe said this. Joe, you're 100% right. And then you got one of your friends like, Joe, I don't know if I agree with you, man. I think it's this, and you're having a debate. Do you think there's a part of the political party where they feel like just because I'm a Democrat, I have to agree with 100% of everything they're pitching me?
There's a bunch of people like that. Yeah, there's a bunch of like full-on cultists, and they're blue no matter who.
Yeah.
And that's their mind, and in their social circle, like this is how you talk and communicate. And I've had conversations with those people, particularly when I was in LA. And when you confront them with facts, they're in denial. First of all, they don't know the facts. They're in denial about it. They think that what you're saying is propaganda, that what you're saying is right-wing bullshit and conspiracy theories. I remember when I first started talking to Jordan Peterson about that bill, what is it, C-16, that's up in Canada, that is a hate speech law that mandates you using whatever the person's preferred pronouns are, and at that point there was like 48 different preferred pronouns that were going to mandate. And people are like, why are you concentrating on that? This is something that exists in colleges. This is not something in your world. Like, why is that of concern to you? Because People graduate from college and they take these ideas they've been indoctrinated with, and then they enter into the workforce.
This is sick times we're living in right now. Now, I don't have any children myself, but America's lucky I don't, because I wouldn't allow my child to be indoctrinated, and if the teacher attempted to indoctrinate my child, I would come in the classroom and take all the books away from the teacher. I would forcefully make sure that my child wasn't indoctrinated, but at the same time, I wouldn't raise a child in the United States anyways. I'm 33 now, so I don't have any children. Maybe I probably won't, but I may adopt in the future, and if I do, or if something changes, definitely not raising my child in the United States. That's a complete 100% no. Why? Because we're living in sick times. The United States is going in a terrible direction right now. Hopefully something can happen to fix it, and we can go back to basic moralistic and more of a pure view of what children should have, which is innocence. And nobody's going to control my speech either. I'm going to say whatever I want. If they don't like it, wah. Adults' feelings, like I said before, they don't matter. Who cares about adult feelings? Children's feelings need to be protected. Being an adult, you have to learn to deal with things that make you uncomfortable. If you can't deal with things that make you uncomfortable, then unfortunately, you're not a real adult. You are a grown child. And to pass that stage, to become an adult, you're going to have to learn to deal with things that make you uncomfortable. The world does not bend to whatever you want it to. And even if they make laws to make the world bend to what you want it to, there will be people like me who will still not bend to what you want it to, because nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to say. And anybody who's a man and has functioning testicles, they are not going to be controlled based off of somebody telling them what they can and cannot say. They're going to say what they want to say. I mean, it's the truth. It is what it is. The direction America's going in, it's terrible. Going ahead and changing a child's hormones and preventing the natural process of puberty is going to cause issues in the future, obviously. The body works in a specific way, and when you change that, you're going to have issues. Be it cancer, be it heart disease, be it kidney failure, be it neurological damage, whatever you want it to be. The lifespan is going to be cut drastically. They have not had much evidence of this yet because it's a new topic, but I guarantee it's going to happen. And this is just my opinion. This is not medical advice before I get in trouble. That's it. I'm just going to wrap it up. We'll watch more of these videos in the future. If you guys like it, like, comment, subscribe.